Adios! What's happening, Captain? Welcome back to part 2 of my TU, the Immortal / To Your Eternity review session. In the last part, I talked about my thoughts on the animation and the pace of the story, and was just about to talk about the ease of reading and understanding. So like I was saying, because they really took their time to develop everyone and everything in the story in a really clever way, I mean, I usually get so annoyed with how much they drown on and on with character expositions, but I didn't really feel that in this manga at all. Maybe it's because I was so preoccupied with fearing for the lives of these poor people who have no idea what's coming, but I'm not mad at it. Assuming they did that on purpose, it worked, so go off, brain space. But because they took their time with these developments, I understand so much more of what was happening. And I mean this with every aspect of the manga. Like the emotions that the characters felt, I know exactly what that character went through because they took their time to tell us in a way that still flows with the main story. So they didn't need to like stop or disrupt the story just to show us one little scene. So when a character calls someone she's just met family, your heart's gonna hurt a lot for them because you know what just happened with their actual family and you saw the little details that mess with your mind. So the pain you feel for them is so deep. Like, yo, old girl was just given up by her family to be sacrificed. Wow. And in 2 seconds, she meets someone and says that someone is her son. Yikes. That's she needs some serious therapy level stuff right there. But where the talent of the author Yoshitoki Oima comes in are with the little details that I won't name in the video. You gotta go and read that for yourself. But to give you some hints, we're talking the character's age to their goals, deals and aspiration. All go into why something like a girl calling someone she just met family is so painful, and what happens soon after. Oh god, that just makes it all so much worse to see. And this is what you see consistently throughout the duration of the manga. So you know what to expect in the sense of, okay, this new character who was just introduced may have a really dark past, and their past is what makes them act and behave the way they do. So you understand what's happening at all times, but there are still enough mindfucks to keep you on your toes. Trust me, there are more than enough mindfucks. And at this point, because you know the characters, you know the author's way of storytelling, you're captivated by the attention to detail in the storytelling. You understand what's happening even when the author decides to throw in a surprise here or a new development there. It's honestly all so well done. At this point, I feel like you can tell how I feel about the plot of this story. It was so well done that I genuinely enjoyed every second of it. Believe me, it's worth the read. Now, I don't know if it'll be like that for the anime because we know how manga to anime adaptations go. You know, there's always a problem. Hopefully they have a plan in place in case this anime adaptation blows up more than they expect and we don't end up waiting 4+ years for the next season. But now for the characters. So of course we have the protagonist, Fushi. In addition to him, we have that one mysterious entity I was talking about who brought Fushi to Earth to save it, I guess. We'll call him the Beholder. Then we have the wolf. Then we have the little boy who Fushi got his first and main physical human body from. We call him the Nameless Boy. Then, for the sake of not giving away more than I already am, I'll include one of the many antagonists of the story, Hayase, and leave it at that. So I think I've talked about Fushi enough. But I'll just say, I believe Fushi is a great shonen protagonist. Is he what you would normally see protagonist-wise? No. He's way darker and more brooding than your Naruto from Naruto, or your Midoriya from My Hero Academia, or your Guts from Berserk. Just kidding. We all know Guts is morbid as shit. Who are we playing? But anyways, he's not the most high energy guy out there, but he fits the mold of every protagonist in the shonen seinen world. He has a greater purpose that's hinted at from way early on. He goes through great loss. He's compassionate. After a certain point, I mean, he did watch someone die and didn't even bat an eye. But in his defense, he was an animal. So now where I believe Fushi stands out is his wisdom as a character. Fushi lives through one devastating loss after another, but instead of freaking out and just being filled with hate and losing his mind like your Guts or Eren Yeager, he grieves and then he grows and he learns what's the most important to him and what he needs to focus on, so that once he's done grieving, he can pick himself back up and push forward. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Fidelia, I could have sworn characters like Ichigo and Naruto or Asta were able to grieve and push forward without being filled with hatred like Fushi. And to that I'll say, shut up, Fushi's better. Now, in classic shonen fashion, he has his moments where he gives up and his friends gotta pull him back up. You know, what's a manga if the protagonist is so perfect he just self-soothes himself and never falters? But the point is that he doesn't take 50,000 chapters to learn one thing. He learns something different from each experience, and every time he gives up, he takes the time to better himself for his own sake, so that when he does fight for others, he as a person has developed so much that he has the foundation of self-acceptance and wisdom to stand on, and that foundation just gets sturdier and sturdier with each passing experience. So yeah, they really went in depth with Fushi's character, which is why I personally believe he deserves to be considered when thinking about shonen protagonist greats. While he's not the flashiest character out there, which that may just be subjective too, because Homeboy's dope. I mean, he can shapeshift into people, animals, and whenever he does, he takes on their traits, their characteristics, and their skills and abilities. So like, he just got the ability to like shoot fire from his face or whatever without even needing one of those cliche training montages. Come on, your faves could never. But anyways, next is the Beholder, and boy, you know, if you could take that creepy guy in your apartment complex that never leaves his house and is always wearing his black hood, and then take the guy in your friend group who's always coming with all the little miscellaneous facts that nobody asked for, and put it into one person, it would be this dude. Homeboy's supposed to be some ambiguous representation of God, but why they got God dude looking like he's never heard of sunlight before, Homeboy's looking sickly like someone stripped him of his vitamin joy, always coming with hella unhelpful information. Like, how does you telling Fushi about the scary monsters that were trying to kill him after they've tried to kill him help anyone? Boy, if you don't go take a nap for all eternity. But for the next characters, I'm gonna combine the wolf and the nameless boy. So these two characters serve as the catapult that launches Fushi into the world. As an orb, Fushi couldn't really do shit. So it's not until after he meets the wolf first that he's able to actually move and walk. So the wolf was actually his stepping stone. Then immediately after, he meets the nameless boy, who serves as his next stepping stone to becoming more human. And let me take this short aside to add, it's so clever that they didn't give the nameless boy a name. Because when Fushi met him, Fushi was an animal. How's an animal supposed to ask someone their name? And he's supposed to be the nameless boy's animal at that. So if they already know each other, why then would the nameless boy tell this animal his name? I mean, you could also argue that the narrator could just drop in the nameless boy's name very easily, but that would have been way too convenient, and it would have just made the overall story way less believable. So this is just one of those details, or in this case, lack of details, that helps the overall story. But anyways, because those two roles literally kickstarted everything, the nameless boy became Fushi's main form. they were super vital in the development of the story. And this is what I mean when I say no character is unnecessary in the story. For the last character, I'll talk about Hayase. Y'all, this chick is one crazy ass bitch, okay? I don't know what to say here. Like, this chick is psycho in such a twisted, mentally deranged, obsessive way. Like, I won't clown her too much because I don't want to trigger nobody, because her character is really dark. But the way her character is set up, you really can't help but to stop and wonder how she was able to function in human society for so long until she met Fushi. And not only that, but she was literally so psycho that her crazy birthed a legacy of crazy that followed poor Fushi around for an eternity. I mean, you'll see what I mean when you read the manga. Y'all, I pray you don't catch her crazy, because if there was a such thing as secondhand crazy, she would be the one you catch it from. Her kind of mental tweaking is contagious, and it just works out that her character's introduction into the story serves as her background story. So we essentially get to see in real time how far the mighty fall, and all I was left asking is, how did we get here? That's all I'll say, and I'll just leave the rest up to you. Good luck. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you did, I would really appreciate it. And tell your friends, we out here. Stay blessed.